let's talk about some fraction basics. So when we hear the word fraction, the word fraction simply means part of a whole. So, if you have, for instance, a cake, and you cut it into 4 pieces, and you eat one of the pieces of cake, then you've eaten part of a whole cake. So here, in this drawing, right here, the whole group, the whole cake, so this is the whole cake, this is the whole cake, and we're going to move it down here a little bit. We're going to move it just a moment here. There we go. So we have that whole cake, and it equals 4 parts because it's been cut into 4 parts, but that's the whole cake. Now, this little area here is the piece that you ate. That's that one piece of cake. So that equals part of the cake. Okay? So now when we go to talk about that as a fraction, and a fraction is a number, it just looks a little different, but it's still a number. So in this case, when we're writing a fraction is written as part of the whole over how many pieces make up the whole. Okay? So here in our demonstration, we have 1 piece of cake, which was part of the cake, over the 4 parts that make up the whole cake. Now, we have some specific vocabulary words that go with our fractions. So this part of the whole is called the numerator. So that's the numerator of the fraction. The bottom part is called the denominator. The denominator. And that represents the whole, in this case, cake, all the parts that create the whole shape, or the whole item, or the whole group. So, the numerator is part, and the denominator is the whole. Now, we also have to note that fraction A fraction is really division. It's just division in a different visual form. So, because when you are looking at a fraction, you are looking at how did you divide the cake into its pieces. So here we divided the cake into 4 equal parts, and we ate one of the 4 equal parts. These are the most important words to remember, vocabulary terms to remember when you're talking about fractions. Always remember, the top number is your numerator, the bottom is your denominator, and that a fraction is part of a whole. It does represent a number. So remember that if you see the fraction 1/4, you're not seeing 2 numbers. This is one number. One number. If you were looking at it on a number line, and you might want to think about a ruler when you're thinking about using fractions or seeing fractions on a number line, because if I say 0, and this is one whole group, I'm going to divide my number line into 4 equal parts. This part is 1/4. This next section would be 1/4, but we have 2, 1, 2, so it is 2/4. We have another 1/4 piece, so now we've got 3. There's 3/4. And now we go up to 4 pieces, which makes the whole group. So anytime you have the numerator and the denominator as the same number, you do have one whole group of something.